Adventure. Now, adventure in the context of the Kenyan tax law refers to an adventure in the nature of trade. Adventure in the context of Kenya tax law, often referred to as an adventure in the nature of trade, is also a crucial concept because it allows the Kenya Revenue Authority to tax isolated transactions or single ventures that, despite lacking the typical regularity of trade, because a trade, we said one feature is regularity, continuously buying and selling of goods and services. That is a trade. But we may have an adventure which could be just a one-off transaction. Do you understand? One may just engage in a one-off transaction with the purpose of making profit. It lacks adventure lacks the typical regularity of trade carried out with a profit-making intention. It may exhibit the characteristics of a commercial undertaking. And how do you determine an adventure candidate? What are the key considerations in determining an adventure in the nature of trade? One feature is profit motive. The primary intention behind transactions is to make profit. The next feature is just the nature of the asset, the type of asset involved, for example, property or goods, and whether it was purchased specifically for resale. When you buy something one-off for the purposes of reselling it, then that is how you determine an adventure. Then there is also the method of sale. How do you determine an adventure? It is through the method of sale. That is the use of commercial methods to market and also sell the asset. For example, one may be engaged in, you may think of, say, a teacher who buys a piece of land. Okay, a teacher's such a person, his profession is teaching, but he may engage in a commercial activity like buying property. When one buys property for the purposes of reselling it as a one-off, then that is described as an adventure. You understand, candidates? That may be defined as an adventure because it meets the characteristics that we have laid out. When one buys such a property, the purpose there, you can see, is to make profit. Okay, and the teacher may buy that land for the purposes of reselling. Then thirdly, the teacher may market and also sell the asset. So one such example of an adventure is just speculative land sale. I've given that example. Speculative land sale. An individual who is not a real estate dealer purchases a plot of land, then quickly subdivides it and sells the plots at a significant profit. Okay, having engaged in commercial activities like advertising and also infrastructure development for the sole purpose of resale. That is an adventure. Then we have isolated commodity trading. Isolated commodity trading.